Welcome to NHL 20 Goalies. It's been a long time since we last talked. I was originally going to save my first video for something very special, but I feel like the changes to NHL 20 are a little more important, and there hasn't really been much communication on that topic, and there are definitely some gameplay changes, some control changes, and I think it's important that you guys know that. So we'll save that special surprise for the next video. I'm waiting to release goalie tips until I'm absolutely certain I know what the best advice is for NHL 20, because so many things have changed. It's not going to be the same as NHL 19. Maybe the positioning's changed. I'm not sure, but I'm going to wait on that. So let's get into these changes. The first thing you'll notice is that the cover-up button has changed. So Y or triangle used to be you hit it and your goalie will do a cover-up animation, and he'll do that hungry, hungry hippo animation. But now, when you hold Y, your goalie will drop to butterfly, and he'll also change his position when you're hugging the post and in other spots. This is changed so that when you hold Y, your goalie will search for the puck and then cover it. You have to be holding it in order for him to cover it. It's also more effective when you're down in butterfly already, because you can just hold it and he'll put his glove on it. This was changed because cover-ups were obviously horrendous last year and in previous years as well. So hopefully this is a step forward in improving it. Now, there is one scenario where this doesn't work in NHL 20, and it's a bug. EA knows about it, and hopefully they're going to fix it. It's when the puck's in your 5-hole or between your legs, you hold Y, your goalie's going to freak out. Okay, he's going to freak out, and he's going to knock it around. You might kick it into your own net. You might kick it wide. It might just hang out there for 2 minutes. I'm not sure, but it's broken and it's not working right. So hopefully we see a fix soon. There are actually new cover-ups for when you're on the post. So you can be in the reverse VH and your goalie will cover it. You can actually be in a desperation save animation and be on the ground and hit Y, and your goalie will cover it from there. It's pretty cool. It's also very important that you're holding Y and not just tapping it, because you won't get that cover up if you just tap it. The next big change is that there's no more post bubble. This is a huge change in my eyes. The no post bubble means you can stand right next to the post. It means you can drop the butterfly and be right next to the post without actually hugging it. Along with this, there's a bit of clipping, so like your butt's actually going to go through the side of the post. I wouldn't worry about this. This is just visual. I would rather the game play a lot smoother, which it does when there's no post bubble. It's got some funny animations too, like when you go into desperation saves, you can hit this like perfect spot, go spread eagle, and you'll jam both your feet on the edge of the posts, and you're kind of doing the splits. It looks funny, but we've been asking for something like that for a long time. Now, hand in hand with this post bubble update, there's been an update to the way your goalie tracks the puck, especially in the corner, and you're going to notice this. We got some complaints about it, but this is actually an intended feature, and I'd like to run you through some scenarios how this has changed. So the way your goalie faces is based on where you're positioned and where the puck is. So scenario 1, you can see in this picture, the puck's in the corner. Now let's pretend there's an open man in the slot. I'm sitting deep on my goal line and I'm inside the post. I'm cheating here to save the one-timer. If there's a pass out front, I can gain ground and save that one-timer. If there's no pass, I can still get over and save the short side. You'll notice my goalie's chest is facing the center of the ice. This is what you want in this scenario. If you're positioned like this, you're playing the pass basically, and you would want your goalie to be facing that way already so that he's squared up for that one-timer. Now, scenario 2, you can get yourself facing the puck if you just go over your post just a little bit. This isn't my style, and I don't suggest this in high-level games, but you can get yourself squared up to the puck. It's not a bug. They just made it this way so that if you're cheating, you're going to be facing the right way. If you're overplaying the shot or the puck, then you're going to be facing the right way. Now, scenario 3, this is a little bit of a hybrid between scenario 1 and 2. I don't want to hug my post, but I want to cover short side. If I don't move left into the shot at all, the skater might be able to snipe me short side here. He'll definitely be able to snipe me 5-hole. So if you want to save 5-hole this year, make sure you're dropping to butterfly manually. But now if this guy passes out front or to the point, I still have a chance to recover. I can stay in control of my movement. I can cheat over to the pass. I mean, I'm still most likely getting scored on if he's passing from that in tight out front. but it's nice to be able to have that control. Next change you're going to notice is that your goalie is going to actually stay in butterfly a split second longer after playing on a low shot save animation. Okay, so there's a low shot that comes in, and your goalie is going to drop the butterfly to make the save. And if you hit left or right on the left stick, you'll actually perform a butterfly slide instead of standing back up and moving. This allows you to slide into position fairly quickly, okay? It'll take some getting used to, but it feels very responsive. You can also still hold butterfly as the shot's coming in and slide in position. You'll get the same animation, but you'll just stay down in butterfly. The next change you might notice, and it's a pretty big one, is that we can be sniped. All right, if we don't have the proper depth, if we're middle sitting, if we're out of position, you're going to get picked, especially on your glove side. This is a change from last year because NHL 19, our gloves were fairly overpowered. I thought it was a bit ridiculous last year. We were making saves we shouldn't have, and now that's been fixed. Now, you guys are going to have to let me know if you think that it's gone too far. Now, so far I've noticed if my feet are set, which is the most important thing in this game, having set feet when a shot comes in, I make the glove save. But there are times when, too, where my goalie dropped the butterfly on a high shot, and I'm like, I would have liked him at least to have attempted a glove save there. You're just going to have to let me know. Make sure you get some video clips so you can send it in to me, and I can take a look at it, and we can hopefully perfect it. Goalies feel very responsive to me, but the skaters did get faster. So you might feel slower and you might look slower if you compare it to the skaters' speed. But I feel like if you isolated goalie movement compared to the 19, it's pretty comparable. Maybe we're a touch slower, but I haven't found it's affected me too many ways. The last fix they did was a camera relative control fix on the high camera. Last year, the puck was in the corner on your right, and your goalie was facing it, and you hit left on the left stick, your goalie would move up to the top of the crease instead of moving across the crease to the left. This isn't really how we intended it to work, so we made a fix. Now, if you hit left on the left stick and the puck's in the corner, your goalie actually moves left across the crease rather than up and to the left, pulling you out of position. It feels way better to me. Another update they made is that now goalies will attempt to control the rebounds on low shots if they can. There's a lot of variables that play into this one, so your rebound control attribute, if you're screened or not, how far away the shot's coming, where the shot's aimed. But in the perfect scenario, your goalie will direct the puck into the corners, up against the glass, or even out of play. It's a huge improvement. You're just going to have to make sure you do the right things to see it. But also don't be mad when a player perfectly aims a shot on your far pad and you still kick it out to another player, because that's just bound to happen. It's kind of realistic. Another change you'll notice is that your goalie actually drops the butterfly way less on its own. There's a lot more responsibility for the human controlling the goalie to drop manually. I like this change. It should be that way. If there's a guy in tight, you need to drop the butterfly so he doesn't five-hole you, or else it's going to go in and your goalie's not going to move. Okay? Part of this was done to combat that bug where your goalie dropped the butterfly on his own on like a pass. That doesn't happen anymore. It gives you more freedom to move around on those plays. But that also means you do have to sacrifice some mobility to save five-hole shots. Let's keep in mind that if you're dropping the butterfly to save a five-hole shot and the guy passes out front or skates around you and scores, that's on your defense. And that's the way it should be. If your defense is giving up that prime real estate in front of the net, then the other team deserves to score. Unless you completely cheat and bail and make the save, then congrats, you just helped your team win. So in summary, how does this change things? Well, for one, there's a skill gap for goalies now. You can't just middle sit and stand still and make every single save, even though you shouldn't. I think that's a great thing. Last year, NHL 19 goalies were way too easy. People got bailed out for just standing still, which leads me to my next point. There's a skill gap for teams. So the better team who outplays the other team should win most of the time. Now, it's hockey. There are some bad bounces. It's going to happen here or there, but this is a video game. We want it to be fun, right? So if you outplay your opponent, you should win most of the time. Last year, you could slam 5 guys in the slot, clog the middle, and your goalie could just middle sit, and you would win games because that goalie would reach and make unrealistic saves. You couldn't get any pucks through. You could be bumped off the puck. That doesn't happen as much this year, so it seems like the better teams are winning, and that's always a positive thing for competitive video games. The last thing that's going to change, obviously, is probably tips and positioning. Like I said at the beginning of this video, there's just so many new things. I want to be absolutely certain what I'm telling you is correct, so I'm going to make sure I, A, finish that little surprise for you, and B, make sure my advice is sound for you before I start releasing tips. But if you're hungry for goalie content, check out my Instagram, at ESHL Goalie. I post there every day. So in the meantime, in between videos, if you want to check that out, please give me a follow. I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.